Maximilian now on the red side, second pick, and that's the first picked Valentina. Gentlemen, what do you think will be the answer for Fireflux Impunity?
Well, I think if Fireflux Impunity want to do anything, number one, they probably might want to take Fredrin out of the hands of Wise because, again, he has been such a good foundational block for Blacklist International. Don't allow him to be able to walk up on this tanky hero. Don't allow him to be able to snowball and run you down, and then maybe you can start alleviating this pressure from that mid lane because at the end of the day, you know that UA is going to have somebody to protect him.
Yeah. In that case, Fredrin is open. I'm actually surprised that the Novaria is a priority ban for FIMP, which you haven't seen it from Blacklist, but wow, Minotaur and Arlet. Currently, Edward holds the highest KDA among all players with a 19.33. 19 average KDA. He's followed by his teammate Yue with a total of 16. Man, Blacklist International stat padding.
Honestly, I'm relatively curious as to why FIMP is not willing to snag that Fredrin away. I mean, yes, for Kira, for the MCT, he's only played the Fredrin once. But I can say the same thing for Alice, Martis, Joy, Granger, Amon. They all are one game. So it's fair to say Kira can play the Fredrin, but they choose not to.
I think Kira is confident in his capabilities to play around it, right? Again, their bigger priority is the fact that they've already banned out the Dig. You might as well take the Minotaur now and start affecting them here and make that impact in that first phase, and then force Blacklist International to try and answer them in the second part, which they have the advantage in because they get first pick in the second phase.
Yeah, and now without the Kaja and the Franco, the Joy was a pretty open pick for Blacklist International, especially after FIMP not even bothering to take it. They took out Arlet and Minotaur. Understandably so, but that means that Edward will once again have a great time in this game.
And you can understand now, whoa, okay, that's an Aerith pickup. Hey, this Todak did this to game 2 anyways, or game 3 actually. Fireflux Impunity, right. The reason I believe they left the Lancelot open. This usually sets up, especially now, I am even more of a believer in the Granger. Usually, well, NM4, remember, well, they need some more physical damage. There's no way they're going to be relying on the Arlet solely to deal damage here in this game. And the fact that, again, they completely disregarded, they completely ignored the Lancelot, that to a lot of people is the answer to the Fredrin. It shows me that they want to go for something bold. Exactly, the Granger. They ignored it. They didn't want to pick it, Fireflux.
Wait, what's left for Venus? Only the Lolita. That's all I can think of. Is there anything else that they pick, especially after that Faramis denied pick?
I think they are forcing Blacklist to pick a Lolita. Maybe that's why they are picking a Harif for themselves.
I suppose, because there is the angle where it's like, yeah, Blacklist International are going to play like team fight, but they also have the aspect of, hey, Edward, you can start pushing into the side lanes with this Joy and generally win your 1v1s, no problem, but how are you going to disengage? So the Lolita gets picked, we expected to see the Beatrix, and now we bounce back over to FIMP.
Blacklist International's owl is actually not a real owl.
Oh,
wait, really?
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, I thought he was an owl.
I thought he was an owl too.
I thought he was on the set of Alien Invasion.
Oh wow, that was the most interesting stat we saw today. But here's another interesting fact: there could be the potential of an swing. Oh, well,
Fanny.
I would have said Hayabusa, but man, they just flip it up. It's gonna be the Fanny, and everybody's happy about this.
Blacklist International versus FIMP as the creeps marches right out.
Alright, Gideon, I have a simple question here, right? A lot of people have been able to make this Fanny work against Blacklist, but how do they make it work?
Most of the time when we start thinking about Fanny, right, we're talking about that early game pressure. We're trying to look for ways to kind of set up dives. So we have to start thinking about strong and weak-sided lanes. And in this particular case, it's going to be down on the bottom side of the map. But that's why Blacklist are sending Oh My Venus to make sure that Sunshine doesn't find that early aggression, doesn't find that early trade, and forces him back. The response for FIMP, send Apex back down.
So ultimately, what Blacklist International wants to have is a 2 versus 2 in the bottom lane and forces Apex 47 to, not give that much of a vision. Technically speaking, Fanny, once he's pretty much got his purple buff, he can pretty much zoom everywhere, and if FIMP doesn't really quite have that kind of understanding, it will not be that good.
Okay, that's a lot of damage placed onto Kura. Man, didn't expect that burst coming in, but Kura seems like he is comfortable on the Fanny. That is one of the concerns for a lot of people playing the Fanny on stage. Will you be able to make these mechanics, these cables work.
I mean, even if he's not getting these kills, right, at the end of the day, he is influencing.
They're going in again with the cables. Wise gonna be targeted down. Doesn't have the Appraiser's Wrath just yet, but now finds the stacks. The Appraiser's Wrath will be ready for him as Alien jumps in once again. Just there. Oh, the flicker from Alien, and he's gonna be able to fight for his blood. Ooh. Maybe, just maybe a double kill, but Edward is
immediately we start seeing the rotations. Immediately we see a potential dive, and Edward, he can't get back in there.
Kura though, under the turret, will try to burst your way down, and it's gonna be Kazue, who barely is unable to.
I mean, yes, they are trying to make sure that they scale up as fast as they can, but it's the fact that they also have that Fanny, right? You're not expecting Fanny to do it all by herself.
That's right.
You need to have a couple of people to walk up. Now, these neutrals is where it's going to get difficult, because keep your eyes on Apex. He could turn these around.
All right, that's the on blast charged in Venus, but it seems like Fireflux Impunity, they understand that their composition is built around picking these members off in the early game, utilizing Fanny, so they will just ignore the first neutral objective.
Even in these cases, right, we're hoping that Kura is able to kind of speed up the game, he's able to farm hard, but when you're up against a tank, and especially when you're up against Wise, he immediately is looking for that level lead. He wants to make sure that he starves his enemy opponent jungler out.
So currently Wise is at level 6, Kira is level 5. We're not really looking at too much of a gold lead, despite the fact that FIMP did manage to get a single kill, while Blacklist International gets that turtle take. In the meantime, right above the top line,
okay, Kura's gonna be locked down right now as Venus tries to go for the stun, but Apex 47 will pop in. A defensive Minute and Furious. Limit Blast gets charged in, but a good flicker from Kazue to deny it off of Venus. Still a flicker burns out. Venus thought there was someone in the bush, but it turns out Fireflux Impunity are again just avoiding team fights.
Yep, they don't need to interact with them right now. They're if the Queen isn't in the mid lane, where is she going to be? Down by the bottom side.
Perhaps just running down onto the opponent's jungle will be the best case. Unfortunately, Kira didn't really quite manage to steal the purple buff.
Oh, and Alien's going to be baited in, actually, now with the final slash as well. Alien should fall, and Blacklist International claim an equalizer kill in the 4th minute of the game. He might actually look for an invade even here into the enemy purple buff, but Kazua is able to clear it out. Apex 47 is able to just give vision to Fireflux Impunity.
Generally rather passive, and that's supposed to be the way that FIMP is going to be playing this composition. We're expecting Farmus to start stacking for as long as possible until he's able to get that early. I'm guessing he's going to go for the scaling type type item build, probably going Clock of Destinies. If he wants to go for something to stack up a little bit faster, even can go for the Enchanted Talisman. That's generally up to him. He's got the components for it, but now we look at the next upcoming turtle up on that top side, and FIMP, they want to snowball through bottom. What? Blacklist, they've got a read.
Oh, good read by Venus, opening up the map once again, but that's going to be the knock-up onto Venus right now. The calls are stolen away, Mid and Fury connecting, and Venus should fall here to Kura. What would Nurse Passion right now? Sunshine pops in some on-force. Up top, a trade, a good one for Blacklist International. Again, playing for the objectives.
FIMP are very much on the ball. They're constantly trying to get themselves ahead of the action on the side of Blacklist International. However, they are also not paying a lot of attention onto the objective. We've got Blacklist International that got 2 already so far, and bottom lane.
On-force popped. Sunshine defensive, very defensive. Blacklist International pushing the pace right now. So it's going to be actually just ambushed here with a forced cold ultra out. Kura's looking for the back line, but it's not going to be able to find you as he dodges away from the cable. Wait, he's waiting for it. Oh, he finds the snipe, but it's not enough to take him down as the stun comes through. Kura is able to escape. It should just be Blacklist International with a free siege down below, and yes, it will. Perfect execution.
I am just, heavy deep breathe in there, deep breathe. Time with this, and yes, bottom tier 1. That means that Beatrix is on lock. So now the initiative is on Blacklist International to keep the momentum up. Just like in game number 1, we saw that tier 1 fall, and instantly the lane swap comes after. And Wise, look at him, psycho Frederick, 2 levels up. He's gonna keep doing this.
It's really unfortunate for the side of Fanny. Doesn't really have the orange buff to pretty much work with, while Wise is just threading within their jungles. Now, they're gonna have to deal with the threat of having a Joy that's boxing in the bottom lane, or perhaps even the Beatrix all the way out the top lane, farming, trying to bring down the first defense turret. Where do they even put all their emphasis on?
Well, if I was Blacklist International, I would definitely be going to that top side, but FIMP, they can recognize this. They're like, okay, we saw how this worked out in the last game.
Sunshine, but it was a good read. Sunshine playing it again, just defensively. 6 minutes in, now to 7. Blacklist International holding on to that gold lead as Fireflex Impunity look for Prio for the first time ever that they will contest for a neutral objective. Apex 47 now with a Minion Fury Flicker combo! 5 more members! The versus there, the Wrap Blast Stars in, Venus finds 3! Bakura is on the back, just dodging away. Wise now taunting up, disengaging, but Fireflex Impunity, they might have found a way back into the game.
You can definitely see the difference of Mino and Furious there. Yue, it's clear that he doesn't play Minotaur that often in comparison to Apex. 2 times that third hit so very well.
I thought that FIMP might possibly get a lot more out of the Minotaur's Fury. 4 men out, I thought FIMP had the damage, but it makes sense, right? They're still waiting for the perfect time to eventually bring in the action because their damage is just not quite there.
Retry battle right now, and it might just be disastrous for Cura, but that's going to be Wise who steals it away with a Retribution.
They're punishing him. They're using Wise's lead. This is what I talk about when we think about multiple outs, right? For this mid-game right now, Owl, he's got the majority of this game. 2 levels up. You want your purple buff, you're going to have to fight me with your entire team, which is exactly what Blacklist wants, especially when Apex doesn't have his own ult.
Well, so pretty much what we're going to be expecting top lane.
Lumina Blast and the Menace Rage, a late Cold Ultra from Kazooie, not able to save his roamer. But I do want to talk a little bit about that turret falling in the bottom lane because that was the reason they started rotating and invading.
That's why it's trigger points, right? Trigger points every single time. Blacklist follows a code, people that are trying to break. Yes, it follows the fundamentals, but the adaptation on top of that is what sets them apart from everybody else. Oh, God!
Whoa! Solo kill! Utilizing the Master Assassin talent emblem. But look at top lane right now. Kazooie trying to bring Wise back with the Shadow Stampede, but Wise will just say, I'll walk and dash towards you. Now with the taunt, having full stacks for the Appraiser's Wrath, gonna go and steal away the orange buff. But down below, Cura will be able to pick up a turret to trade it away. Appraiser's Wrath was used up.
Wise truly does not care about the fact that he is in opponent's territory. He is very beefy, and unfortunately, FIMP just doesn't have the damage to work with him. FIMP's damage really shines in the backline.
This is the buff freeze, by the way, that Blacklist are doing right now. Oh, it's an early retry!
Oh my!
From Cura, and that could be disastrous. Notice how the purple buff of Blacklist is not being touched at all.
No way to rotate, and especially with the neutral objective of Lord being on the top side. If anybody tries to go for Wise's purple, there's just no way. They will be spotted out, and there's no way to flank at the same time, right? They're covering all of the ground here in FIMP. You know, considering everything that's happened, I'm surprised that Blacklist are only 1.6k ahead. FIMP, they've got everything going for them, right? They've got 2 turrets. They've also got a little more kills.
This is called the buff freeze. This is what Blacklist like to do up against a Fanny or anyone who is very reliant on the purple buff. They kill up the big purple buff, but leave the small ones so it doesn't respawn, and they continuously just invade to the enemy jungle to take the purple buff away.
Making sure that you don't have it, especially if you are an assassin that relies on it. Now, looking on that top side, again, Blacklist, it looks like they want them to walk up and fight.
Well, it's just pretty much Blacklist International just playing the Lost Dance. They're trying to do whatever that they can to just drag it on for a little while longer, waiting for FIMP to eventually make a mistake. They want FIMP to engage onto them while Blacklist International does their signature counter-engage. FIMP just can't find the avenue, and they probably just want to wait for the Kazooie to actually make his way in. Or perhaps Apex 47 to go in first with the Minoan's Fury. But FIMP just taking their own sweet time. They're biding their time. And only when the lot gets a lot lower, then they will probably go for it.
So now Blast with the flicker. Apex 47 is going to fall with the Menace Rage. Used up a lot of ultimates.
As much as they want to try, Apex is still going down. With this Lord being slain, this is the next trigger point frequently during the mid. And as we start rotating, especially when we're transitioning into the later stages of the game, right? We have to keep our eyes on people like Sunshine. How is he really, realistically trying to get in on this fight? They need to bait out, number 1, the Numenon Blast. And Owl, I don't think he's going to be in a position which really compromises him unless he really flubs or makes a mistake. Or the secondary engage tool. Alien with the final slash, maybe with a flicker, could look for something big.
I don't think that FIMP have got the item that they want in order to deal with the front lines, or perhaps even onto the back lines. Cura, one of the main damage dealers of the team, don't have his buff, and they rely a lot onto that cable. So even if FIMP has got all of those setups coming in from Kazue, or perhaps even from Apex 47, or perhaps even from Alien, how exactly are they supposed to bring the mid lines, or perhaps the back lines down? Sunshine is not quite there yet. 1-0-1, don't have much of that pressure. But Blacklist, every single one of the players, every single one of these heroes have pressure.
They're going to have to scale then. I mean, Alien, ooh, final slash into the top rush here just to try and make it work. And even for Kura, right, it's difficult for him to farm in his own jungle. Blacklist have that level of influence over him.
And that should be the red tree again from Wise. He picks up the purple buff. There's not much Fireflux Impunity can do at this point, but just wait it out. Turtle in their base, looking for trades across the board, and this is the risk of bringing a Harith into the gold lane. Did you see the difference in goal between Beatrix and Harith?
Huge. Quite a significant difference here, but let's not forget, right? Kazue, he's still stacking up pretty quick. The fact that he hasn't died, meaning that his charges are slowly
start to get a lot more apparent. And Blacklist International, they're still taking their own time.
A blast from Venus all the way to the back line right now, but Kazue is still able to survive. That's a terrifying, I mean, in Fury as well. That's a 3-man knockup coming in. That's Venus taken down. Cura's looking for more. Doesn't have the energy necessary to look for more, but they will take it. A 1-for-0 in favor of Fireflux Impunity.
Now, notice that Blacklist International, if this was a team that was dead even with them, and especially if Fanny maybe had a purple buff, I don't think they would have even tried to attempt to go for such an aggressive play. But the fact is, they've got all the resources in the world, and they know that it's a clear disadvantage. Wait, hold on.
No call, Alter. Edward's using it. Sunshine's gonna be gunned down, and Edward finds the kill with the rhythm and the vengeance. Now Alien is the next target on the primary. Listen, Owl takes him out with an Amir's passion, swaps out to Renner's apathy. He wants to look for his snipe here, but nobody's able to pick up 2 turrets, tier 1 and tier 2. Actually, the tier 1 was taken away earlier. Look at Yue, the way they're sandwiching Cura down. The Filipino sandwich, but Cura is still able to escape. He saved the energy and he bought enough time. Now Blacklist International, they've sent Wise all alone to go for the Lord. FIMP, what do they do?
They can't. They have to give this Lord here unless Cura is going to try and be a hero, try to be a legend to steal this away. I don't see it realistically happening.
Apex 47 is not looking good at all. The entirety of Blacklist International just wants to zone the entirety of FIMP away.
Oh, Cura has to use the cables defensively. Edward's going to be chased down, but Sunshine can't get that basic attack to reset the second skill, and Wise will just go to town. Yue actually is the one who takes the orange buff.
I mean, Yue has been playing a very hot game since game number 1, coming into game number 2 as well. He's been making sure that he's right, and you can tell that this time, Blacklist International, they want to fight to win.
Ow, indeed. Owl threading the needle. Apex 47 and Alien were in front of him. The fact that he found Sunshine, that was impressive. Cura, again, just having to micromanage these waves without the purple buff. Can you imagine being a walking Fanny?
It's not fun. And in 6 seconds, Wise is going to get another purple buff too.
The Lord is eventually going to be making his way down to the bottom lane. All of the exterior turrets is going to be finding a lot of problems.
Little and Fury, but the amount of blast is right there. Final Splash cancels it out. As Apex 47 is able to flicker out of the range. Alien using the vengeance. Is jumping back and forth, resetting to save that base turret, but in the mid lane, the tier 2 should fall. Doesn't seem like it's gonna fall. As Blacklist, they will go and prioritize. Oh, wow, Owl! They'll go prioritize the purple buff, but yeah, Owl, very rude, he cut me off.
A lot of damage here. I mean, at this point, it's basically the mid tier 2 is essentially done for, right? They've got the Beatrix. Wait, hold on.
Alien caught as the final slash though, but the Appraiser's Wrath locks onto him and he's going to be forced to commit the flicker out. And Owl, once again, is just sieging. This is why the Beatrix is so prio right now. Once you get that snowball, go! How? Owl is a monster on this Beatrix.
He's real accurate. He's taken a couple of notes from Olhev for sure. Oh, they're going to continue doing this, right? Siege them underneath the turret. Utilize Renner as much as they can and start harassing their opponents underneath their inhibitor turrets.
And this is where the kind of like the snowball begins, right? Blacklist International has mostly been playing very safe, and they are just kind of holding onto the river line.
Needs to start taking full advantage of if they want to close out this game.
If he finds another snipe, that's going to be insane, but it doesn't even need to connect Venus! With the Numenal Blast and Yue! With the Midnu and Fury! The combo together, right on time as well! How do you get better than this? Blacklist International are playing the cleanest MLBB I have ever seen!
It's like 5 men left, but Sunshine fights himself taken down!
Relentless Rage to take him out with his Amon Force already popped in. Cura as well finds a tier 2 up top, but it doesn't matter. Blacklist responds to every single play, but they're also able to react and make these proactive movements.
All right, Blacklist agents out there. Somebody has got to draw Wise on Fredrin as Dio, because he just walks you down. He's a psycho for a reason. He knows he's strong.
Oh, what do you even do right now? Firefox Impunity, Cura try to look for an opening to go for
items, but the majority, and especially the core items that are necessary, are there. In comparison to look over to Blacklist International with their 8.7k lead, they can start switching them out however they like.
I was really wanting to hope and see the Sunshine will be able to do a little bit more into the front lines as long as the Summon Force is available. However, Blacklist International's ultimate bases, and they are just constantly jumping right in and catching FIMP out. The only thing that they can do is just immediately back off and doesn't really have much of a fight.
Oh, he's gonna get it. Damn! Ow! Are you so good? Minute Fury now. Apex 47 is gonna be locked down, but it's down blast. Alien into the midst with a vengeance, but he gets bursted down too quick. Owl getting people down with the Nibiru. He walks off forward. Cura's able to clear out the Lord right now. The miniways come crashing down. Cura with cables once again. But Owl finds another. He is indeed unstoppable. Owl is the new Filipino sniper. He'll take that mantle from Mohet.